Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. This is a video series that I do called Transfer Tuesdays, where every week for accountability, I share our progress towards our financial goals for the year. So the two big goals that we are working on for the year are fully funding my Roth IRA, which is a max of $6,000, and paying down our mortgage to be able to drop the PMI insurance. So that's going to be about $22,000 in principal to be able to drop that from our monthly payment. So last week I shared our progress towards paying down that PMI and shared that we made our additional extra payment along with our normal payment to be able to do our monthly progress. I typically only do that once a month, and then the other 3 weeks are typically towards this Roth IRA. So this week for our Transfer Tuesday, I was able to transfer $300 to that Roth IRA account. I like to typically do it in $600 increments just so that I can fill in my color chart up to the line. They're in $600 increments. But $300 was what we were able to do this week. It was also our pay period week, so typically I also will look at like our checking account and see if we have any excess in there and then transfer that money from checking into savings, because then it's usually from our savings account where I then am pulling that money to fund either the Roth IRA or towards that mortgage. They're linked to our savings account. So this week there was actually no additional money left in our checking account. I had already gone and paid some credit card bills with the money that was in there prior to this week. So we had kind of used up all of the paycheck that was in there and ready for what got deposited now on for this week. So we had $300 that I was able to take out of the savings account to still have a decent amount in there. Again, it's kind of back to that same mind game I play with myself. So bringing it down to that even like thousandth, there was that $300. So I was able to just transfer that for our progress. So with that $300 towards the Roth IRA, we have $1,500 left to go to get to that $6,000 and max that out for the year. So again, I'm hoping to do that fairly quickly and kind of just have that one out of the way and then be able to, just focus on some other things. We do have other expenses that I've mentioned in previous weeks. And now adding even more. So we will have some additional expenses for childcare for the summer, as our older two will do summer school part-time, but then, the afternoons and then the rest of the summer when they don't have summer school. And then we have decided to get chickens. We've been doing a lot of research and decided to pull the trigger. So there's kind of this joke, you get chickens to have free eggs, but they are far from free. So currently looking at quite a bit of expenses to get the ball rolling on that. Kind of still debating on whether we are going to buy a coop or build a coop. We will have several weeks to figure that out before they are big enough to even go in a coop. So that's another just kind of added expense, and we've also just done some yard work outside. We had ripped out bushes that we had while we removed them ourselves, but then it was, fixing that area, putting in more dirt. We got some different hostas and some other purple plant, I don't know what it is, and we planted all of those, but we needed quite a few. I think there's 8 of them, and they were like 10 to 15 bucks a piece. And then we didn't have enough dirt and had to get more dirt, and then we got mulch to go on top, and now we don't have enough mulch, so we have to go buy more mulch. So it's kind of just been this never-ending yard work and expenses, and now with the chicken stuff. So we will see what next week will bring for what we can do to contribute towards that. but it has to be something. So even if it's something small, we're still making progress towards that goal, and that's okay. Our goal is not to, constrict ourselves so much that we can't enjoy life or buy the things that we really want to buy or things we want to do. We also have a date night this coming weekend. My dad will be in town and be babysitting for us, so we have a free babysitter, so we are taking advantage. I'm going to go to a comedy club. So it's not very often that my husband and I actually get date nights because we don't have family nearby. So we like to try and take advantage of that at least a couple times a year when we can. So that's probably going to be like $200 there to be able to do that. So, but that's okay. That's what the money is for, to do things that we enjoy. And I think that's really important. We don't get enough time together as a couple, and that's something that we do value. So that's enough rambling for me. Again, $300 towards our Roth IRA was our progress for the week. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, what you're working on, what progress you've made this week, and also if you have any chicken tips for me, I'm happy to take those as well. So that's all for me for this week, and I will see you again next week.